this is the camera that I got.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Sowieso gevat.
Ja, dat is beter. The HD 2-inch screen, waterproof.
It's exactly what I was looking for, but the battery doesn't last the whole day. So it's probably half a day. But it's still better than nothing. So
Yeah, that is true.
yeah, there are some cameras that have really long, like,
Battery life?
Battery life, yeah, and I could use it in their day, but they're really expensive. So
Those are GoPro heroes, right? That kind of stuff.
I balanced it out, and I think this one was the best choice.
Yeah. Okay. Can I open it?
Yeah, sure.
And what was another thing that you wanted to tell me?
Yes, about the situation that I think I told you a bit at the beginning when I started working here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you saw me. I think you saw me angry a couple of days. Yeah, that was basically, to be honest, I was angry every day before I came here. So it's just kind of natural for me at that point.
Okay.
But realize it's not exactly helpful, because if I'm angry with everybody, I get into fights with clients because sometimes they talk, they insult me.
Mm-hmm.
Then since I'm already angry, it grows.
Yeah, it explodes.
Yeah, I remember the guy with the stairs, or yeah.
Yeah.
So that's not helpful. It always results into bad things. Even if nothing happens, it's still conflict, scandal, and it's not good.
Yeah.
But yeah, especially since you're my employer, so I think you should know the situation for my past.
Mm-hmm.
And
Alright.
it's a bit complicated to explain. I will try to sum it up, because you probably don't have. It's really long, so it's hard to explain the entire thing. But I'll tell you the main things. So as I told you, in high school, and so that was I'm 24 now, so that happened when I was 17.
Yeah.
So a long time ago. There were something weird happened, and one of my group of friends, I was not exactly with the right people, so sometimes they started to smoke weed or do things that are not exactly okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so then what they did at one point, I don't know why they did that, but one of my best friends, he claimed he got caught while he was doing something bad. He took a photo of a girl from the backside, in her private, and then everybody started pointing fingers at him, and to make it go away, he told everybody that I stole his photos and tried to sell them in order for people to have someone else to point fingers at.
Oh, okay.
So there was the story was made in a really interesting manner to get attention from people.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it got too much attention, and the girl who was in the photos, she decided to get revenge on me and the other guy, and she made a Facebook group. I think initially it was not Facebook, it was Tumblr or something.
Tumblr,
yeah. But eventually it moved to Facebook because there were more people.
Yeah.
And but I didn't know about that. The other guy did. So she posted that, and she said, "Look what Paul did," and the story was so interesting that it went viral outside of the school. So there were some people in the school who knew about it, but outside of the school in Maastricht, that happened in Maastricht, but also outside of the Netherlands, when something goes viral, it's. And she was really pissed. So she took photos of me, of my face, and she posted them there and said, "Look, this is the guy's face who did this," and blah blah blah, and it got a lot of attention. And at the same time, there were other people who decided, this is an interesting thing.
Juicy story.
Yeah, and they decided, let's make another story, because the girl who posted the story, she got a lot of attention. Her social media grew. And then someone else said something. For example, I used to like two girls in high school, and it was not a serious thing, but one of them I really liked a lot.
Yeah.
And someone made up a story that I wanted to go out with both of them and another girl, and in a really disrespectful manner.
Yeah.
So that made both of these girls not like me anymore. So there was one problem. And this story also went viral because it was again made to catch attention, if you know what I mean. It was not just Paul wanted to go out with. It was Paul wanted to do that, and you know.
You're the victim now.
Yeah, that was to me, because at the time I did not know about the group. That's why it went viral, because only some people in the school knew. But 99.99% of the group was not in school. It was random people in the world, in Netherlands, in Romania, in United States. You know, yeah, and the people did not know who I was. They just saw the stories, they saw my face, and they said, this is Paul who did that and that. Yeah. And the thing grew, and there were people basically started posting negative stuff about me, but in a manner that made it really interesting.
Yeah,
so they did not just say negative.
Go viral.
It had to get attention, because once their story got attention, they got attention.
Yeah.
And then their Facebook page grew, and you understand what the point is.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it continued. So there were some main stories from high school that I know of, because people told me, but that happened afterwards. Initially, I knew absolutely nothing.
Okay.
So there was this thing that I wanted to go out with 3 girls, and that was really insulting to me, especially since one of them I really liked a lot, and also another one I liked somewhat, but not like that, not in the...
just like a normal way.
Yeah, and I actually liked them, and I didn't mean to do this kind of stuff. I didn't make... the comments were really negative, you know, so they changed so the way I felt about these girls, they changed it completely to make it seem very negative. Yeah. Like I wouldn't care about their feelings and just want to, if you...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and
just wanted to have sex with them, and that's it.
Yeah, and stuff like that, and made it as negative as possible. Yeah. And then there was the thing which really went viral, and this went viral more than everything else. There was a girl from Christmas, which I spent a Christmas with in
last year?
No, 2017. This all happened... And at one point, we were in the same room and everything, and she went to sleep. We stayed in the same bed. Nothing actually happened. So it was just maybe a little bit intimate, but not.
That's it.
Yeah, nothing really happened.
Yeah.
And there was this series of stories. There was first someone who said that they got to know about the intimate stuff somehow. I think the girl told them, or. But someone said again, this is something about her legs, that she got long legs, and that I would have said that to everyone or something like that, but also in a negative manner. So again, to get attention and everything. So the girl got pissed, and she started posting bad stuff about me anyway, because she thought it was true. Yeah. And then someone had the genius idea to say that I did something to her while she was sleeping. And she was sleeping, so she doesn't know. But because she was pissed, she said, maybe it's possible. I don't know. He already made the negative comments, so maybe he also did the... So, of course, nothing actually... I was really pissed. I wanted to sue everybody for... It's not...
it's not normal.
It's not normal, yes. So I know I don't do this kind of stuff. So I was very angry. I wanted to sue people for this. And basically... I'm not going to tell you the exact details, because they're not really decent, but they said I did some bad stuff to her legs, to her breast, in her sleep. Yeah. And again,
I can imagine they can be very rude and ruthless.
Yeah, and again, it was made in such a way to get the maximum amount of attention. Yeah. So when the 99.99% of people on the group who didn't know me saw that, even more viral. And eventually I found these things on the internet. I stated that they were not true, but because people already built a community on these things, they just changed groups and they continue posting stuff. Yeah. So then a real weird thing happened. After I left the school, I went in other communities, but they were somewhat linked together through Facebook, common people or people who just happened to be in the group. And the moment they saw me, they started making similar stories. So for example, one of the things that happened in high school with the 3 girls was people made up this story, and then they started to show that to me, but without actually telling me, so I wouldn't figure it out. Yeah. So they kept talking to me, and they were like, 3 girls, blah blah blah, and but they didn't exactly say what was going on.
Yeah.
So, I thought something is up. And then when I moved to another community, they started doing the same until someone told me, yeah, they made up similar stuff. And I was, how is this possible? It's completely different
school,
different place, different.
Same shit.
Yeah, not school, just different communities.
Or different.
You know, at football, for example, or there's people of the same age. Or when I started working in a bar, same thing happened. And now there was with the guy who made up this story with the 3 girls. He realized that it was real bad because yeah, the girls got angry. I got cyberbullied for it. And it caused a lot of series of events. So he told people that I beat him up, and everybody was saying, "Oh, Paul is a violent criminal. He beats people up." And then when I went to a bar, there was some, I would call them criminals because what they did is really negative. And they said that after I beat him up, I also assaulted him. And in a manner, they said that I sat on his face or something that was really disturbing. So the guy who I beat up said, I don't know, I was knocked out, so maybe it happened. So the same as the girl with Christmas, she was sleeping so she didn't know. And this guy said I beat him up, so he said, oh, I'm not sure what really happened because I was beaten up, so maybe he did it, you know? And then of course it didn't go to court because nothing really happened, but I wanted to sue them for saying this stuff about me. But again, they changed groups, so I didn't have access to, I didn't have the good idea of taking screenshots of everything. But I wanted to sue them because I know people now look at me like, oh, look what he did. And I told them if I did that, they should go to court, right? Because it's a crime. So,
yeah.
But I wanted to go to court to sue them. But yeah, and the 99% of people on the group who didn't know me, they just kept making memes and they didn't realize that, yeah, this guy didn't do anything. They saw the stories. And yeah, I don't think they really cared that there was nothing, because if it would have been something, it would have gone to court. They just kept posting and making memes, and they used my face for it. And it was yeah, it's as disrespectful as possible to me.
Yeah, exactly. And you're the victim here.
Yeah, but I
3 different community crimes.
Yeah, it's and this all happened in high school, but then afterwards in communities that I've been through, I know that people made up stuff to sort of incriminate me for it, in order for them to get attention. So, for example, if there was a nice, pretty young girl in the shoot said, she flirted with me, and he flirted with the other girl as well, and the other girl said, yeah, he flirted with me too, without me actually doing anything. And then they posted it on the group and said, yeah, he's the kind of person who would go out with 3 girls and do all that stuff. And then everybody would say, yeah, he would do that. And then the girls got attention because they posted stuff about me, and I would be even more pissed because
you only get more pissed and they thrive on
it. They get because you know how it goes with social media. If your account grows, you can get money for it and so on, and people apparently can do anything for that. So that's so that was one thing. And there was another girl, I think somewhere in also 2017, who saw all this, and she said, oh no, this is wrong. But then I didn't know about it. So she didn't tell me. She said, okay, I want to help. She posted on the group, and she started a big community saying, I want to help Paul. But then she said, she saw me that I was sad and I was not in a good mood. And she said that I would apologize for the bad things that I've done. So it didn't make any sense. But that got her a lot of attention because, I don't know how.
Apologize.
I didn't, but
the
that's
next chapter. The apologize.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what she did, she was very good at mathematics, and I think she was looking for an internship or something. Not internship, for college, because college was coming up soon. I think she wanted to promote the fact that she was good at mathematics, and she used some of my social media that contained mathematics in it, and she made up a complicated story using mathematics. In order to illustrate that I would have apologized to the 3 girls without me even knowing about the story.
Whoa.
So that's to me, I see that as like a psychopathic thing to do, because I wasn't even aware of it.
Yeah.
And she said that not only I would have been aware, but I would have also apologized for it. And she made it interesting using this thing, mathematics, because she was good at it. So And then for her it was good because the entire world saw, oh, she's good at mathematics, and she got attention on the private group as well.
Oh man.
And when I figured that out was much later, someone told me about it. It was already years since then, so it didn't make sense to go back to high school. And this girl got her social media really grew, and she got I think she started singing or something. So you understand, from nothing she grew on this stuff that she made up about.
Over other people's back, she grew her account.
Yeah, my back basically,
Your
but,
back,
but with her false stories. So that was what really pissed me off.
Yeah.
And basically it kept going like this. Then after the guys in the bar that made up the thing with the assault, that guy who pretended that I beating him up first, he said, oh, and also I couldn't breathe at one point. Because, it's because it made sense once people said, he assaulted him, he beat him up.
Where's the police then?
Exactly.
Where's the court?
Exactly. That's what I said. Let it go to court, and then we see if he's right or no.
Yeah.
And that was one other thing that people picked on. So they said, he couldn't breathe. Let's make stories about this. So I used to smoke when I was a bit younger.
Yeah.
So someone saw me smoking, and he said, he smokes. So I'm gonna make something up about that. So they said that because of the smell of smoke and too much smoke, he couldn't breathe, and they twisted things, and they got to the conclusion that if I smoke, I would be guilty. So then there was a new round of memes on the social media saying, Paul is smoking, so Paul is guilty. It didn't really make sense,
Wow.
but people liked the entertainment because it was made in an interesting kind of way, and from there it just went downwards for me, because people had no more limits. Once this kind of extreme stuff was made up, people just made up stories without even knowing me, without even ever meeting me. Or some people met me and still made up stories, and they said all sorts of stuff. Someone said, I think, that I was gay, and then a girl who was a lesbian said that I would have been bisexual in order for her to grow her account.
Wow.
And then she said that I liked her, and then some guys said that I liked them, and it's an aberration, but it's
without you even knowing.
Yeah, without me even knowing. And when I found out, I said, okay guys, stop. I'm not bisexual, I'm not gay, so stop saying this stuff about me. I got nothing about people who are like this, but I'm not, so stop saying it about me. It's insulting.
Yeah.
But the people said, oh yeah, sure, but they continued making memes on the subject anyways. And
when you say stop, they go even twice as hard.
It's like the sort
like
of
children.
Yeah, the mentality of the school bully when they beat you up or something, and then you say stop, and then they do it even harder because that's the kind of mentality the people got in the group.
Yeah.
But it didn't stop there. Someone made up something really disrespectful about the three girls, and they said that not only I wanted to go out with all of them, and they made something absolutely extreme. They said that I wanted to be their, not sure how to call this in English, but the proxenet.
Yeah, proxenet.
Yeah, like I would.
VPN stuff, right? That you cannot know where you are when you're.
No. That's how we call it in Romania. It's the guy who supposedly has multiple girls who prostitutes them, and they make.
That's another.
They make money of these girls having sex with. That's basically an
escort.
Sort of business, but illegal. So
okay.
And they said something also to make it interesting. They said something about the weather, and they said that if the girl is hot, then I would have a secret code of saying the weather is good. So it's. And that I wanted to make money, and I was like, what? It's completely.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's complete crazy. I mean, how do you even make up this stuff?
Yeah.
And I told people, guys, stop. You cannot post this kind of stuff. Everybody who knows me knows I wouldn't even say this kind of stuff as a joke.
Yeah.
So, but then it didn't matter because 99.9% of people just kept making memes.
And is it still going on at this day?
I deleted my Facebook. So this was where I wanted to get to.
Oh, okay.
So it kept happening, and it happened in multiple communities that I've been through. So people recognized me, and they started making stuff up, and they posted it in the group, and I got angry, and we got in a not violent scandal, but of course I was angry. So it had negative effects on my life because of that. And all these stories, these are the main topics. Maybe some people made it a bit different, but generally these are the stories that I wanted to go out to multiple girls, or make weird comments like sexist comments about their bottoms or boobs or legs, or something that would disrespect them. And the moment someone does this, the girl pretends to be angry, and then she makes up something else, but also for attention, and then it grows from there. And then we have a problem because I say to the girl, I didn't say that, but she said, how could I know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then why did you post bad things about me on the internet? I was angry, but it doesn't really make sense. Because the normal reaction is to talk to, hey, why did you say this about me? But that doesn't get them attention. So they start making memes about me, using the stories, and then they get attention.
Social media is just like...
it's brainwashing people, is it?
It's devilish, man. It's devilish.
Yeah, and it's these kind of stories, and they include all sorts of elements, and then they make memes with those elements. For example, they made memes about the weather, but low-key they were making it about that. And at one point I was very angry. I threatened to sue everybody. So they started making the memes less direct. So not using my face directly, but still referring to me, but it was still negative, so people still saw it.
Yeah.
These were the main topics. So this thing with the 3 girls and the 2 crimes. One was the theft with the photo, and the other one was the violence and assault. And,
that you beat someone up.
Yeah, and especially the story with the girl from Christmas. So series of stories, because there are multiple things said. These things went all the way. When I closed my Facebook, they were still posting about this. It was 5 years later, still posting, and not at the same rhythm, but the same kind of topic. So I go somewhere, and people said, this is Paul, the guy who did that, and the Puck picture, and the Puck, they said, look, and he also said that he did it. And I was, guys, I didn't do it. I'm saying that I didn't do it, and then you're posting on the group saying that I did. And I got very angry. I deleted all my social media. So I don't know what happened afterwards. This was a few years back. But the main topics are the ones that I told you. And from there they deviate a little bit and to make their specific stories, and but that was basically what happened. And when I came here, I talked a little bit to you about it. I talked, I think, a bit more with David, because he's Romanian, so every time I had a question I asked him, because it's easier to communicate.
Yeah.
So we also talked about this because it comes naturally.
Yeah.
And I asked him, these are the kind of topics. If you hear anything, if you see anything on the internet, I really want to know. Or if something like this happens here, I want to stop it before it grows.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course.
And I asked a little bit other people as well, but not as much, because it's a bit weird to ask about these topics. Because you go to someone who didn't really talk to, and you
have to trust that.
and
as well.
But you still have to tell them about someone framed me with theft and with this and personal stuff. But if you hear anything, I'd appreciate it if you let me know. Or if someone says something in the pizzeria, I want to stop it before it grows, so it doesn't.
I wouldn't allow it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't allow it, because I don't like cyberbullying, and I don't like making up stories of people, and especially with social media attention. There are so many girls that just sell their bodies and sell their souls just to get more attention from people.
But this thing, if they sell their bodies or whatever they do it like it's their life. They do what they want.
Yeah, but they sell their soul when they.
Yeah, but when you make up something about me, then it becomes different, because you include me. And I know this happened in the past. So for example, I talked to Natalie, because we had a lot of common shifts, and I told her, if you see this kind of group, I appreciate it if you don't post about me, because many other girls did this in the past. They just go and said, Paul flirted with me, or he made a comment about, I think at some point some girl said that I touched her in a weird way in a private part, and then I said, okay, so then we go to the police, because that's harassment, it's a crime. Obviously she didn't go, because nothing actually happened, and everybody knows I don't do this stuff. So I said, okay, then why do you post it on the internet? It's not normal. And there was always some guy who made up a story.
Ja?
Dan wil die camera nu op testen. En al 3 keer bijna aangegeven dat mensen zo ongeduldig zijn.
Ja?
Het is fucking druk onderweg.
Hoe druk is het nu binnen?
3 bestellingen.
Genoeg?
Ik ga nu een dubbele rijden.
Oh, en dan is het ver op dichtbij.
1,1 kilometer. Hij zegt met de fiets zou het 5 minuten zijn. Dus. En daarna is eentje nog 500 meter verderop.
Is goed. Ja, die kamer die is maar 1,5 uur online, helaas. De batterijduur gaat niet zo lang mee.
Andere batterij erin.
Ja, wat fijn. Het zit in die camera. Maar goed, komt er zo aan.
You need to.
No.
Yeah. So as I was saying, there was always a guy who made up stories about generally insulting people.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some girls did as well, but usually, yeah, when you know the guy kind of talk, and you say, look at that girl and look at that girl, and they keep making stuff up and say really disrespectful. So you don't say. Paul said the girl looks nice, or they said, look, she said her bottom is like that, and then she would do that to her bottom, and things that really are disturbing, because this is what gets attention on the internet.
Yeah.
And there was always, not always, but many places there was always someone who does this kind of thing, but not only with girls. Maybe they say, he said that guy is retarded. And then the other guy got pissed. How do you call me retarded? And he makes up something else, and it's a snowball effect, and it grows.
Yeah.
It's and I try to explain it to people. Before I deleted my social media, I said, okay, so I keep saying that I don't do this kind of stuff. I don't make this kind of comments about girls. If I like a girl, I talk to one girl, not to 3, not to 2, not to 4. It's 1.
Yeah.
And eventually, at one point, I said, okay, if so many girls were doing this, I said, okay, I'm not asking anyone else to stop, because they were saying, Paul asked for my number, Paul asked me to go to drink to have some drinks, or Paul said that and that, and I will stop. If I probably asked, there was a period I asked 1 girl out, but on the internet they said I asked 10 girls out, and they made it so negative, because some girls were quite old, not girls, ladies. They were like 40, 50, and I said, I don't even, it's not okay for me to do that. Mm-hmm. And then there were young girls, they were like 15 or 14, and I said, come on, I don't do this. It's not, it's to me that was really disrespectful. It's not only about defamation, because it's the same things that are not true. Mm-hmm. But for example, imagine I like a girl, and then some other girl says, Paul asked me out. That's a problem.
Yeah.
But that
ruined your life with it.
Yeah, but that's one of the not the most negative stuff. The one that really bothered me are the ones concerning the crimes. At one point, because of the theft, they said, Paul stole before, so it would be believable that he steals again. And they made up again stories with the topic of theft, in which you couldn't blame someone for it, so something disappeared, and then they made up an interesting story behind that thing with the implied result that I would have been the one who stole stuff. And from there they said, okay, maybe he did it, maybe he don't, we don't know, but we're gonna cyberbully him for it. And again, a new series of memes, how Paul steals stuff, and I was, guys, I didn't steal anything, ever, leave me alone, I don't do this. And people just. It's really annoying to me, because there's no actual consequences. No one puts me in prison for it because nothing actually happened. But I say, okay, if there is something, then it should 100% go to court, because if I would be guilty, I would go to prison. And if I'm innocent, then I can prove that.
Yeah.
So instead of making memes pretending that I would be guilty, just let it play out. But no one actually goes to court, because everybody knows the stories are not true. Yeah. But they still post about it.
Anyways.
And I keep saying, let the things go to court, because this is how justice works. This is how it's supposed to be. Yeah. But they don't listen. They just because it's some sort of entertainment to the people in the group, and but it was made in such a way that it rewards people who make up controversial stories. Mm-hmm. So the more negative and controversial the story is, the more attention they get, and that can result in money, or with, like the girl from...
So from bullying you, they get rich and famous.
Kind of, yes.
Oh,
kind of. Not everybody, but for some people this happens. Like the girl with the mathematics that I told you about. Yeah, she got it pretty good because of this. And it's to me, I say, okay, stop letting her, have concerts or whatever, because everything is built on my defamation. She made up stuff. So, and I think she made up some other things as well. I'm not sure, but this is the one that I've been told about.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really, to me, it's I can't. You know what I mean? It's I don't find it okay.
No. And do you like it here, working here?
Yes, it's okay.
No colleagues that bother you?
No one did anything negative to me, but I did talk to, not to everybody, but to the main people that have more shifts, so that I see them regularly. Mm-hmm. And I ask them if someone says stuff like this concerning this kind of stories, please let me know, because it's important to me. I don't want to let this kind of stuff grow, because it causes problems, and eventually if more people do this, it will get into the situation where, okay, it's a big problem, we cannot understand each other, and it results in conflict. And in other places this actually happened. I had conflicts with people, and they eventually had to leave, and they said, okay, you either work less. Some people actually kicked me out directly. They said, okay, we don't care if people make up stuff about you or not, but you have a conflict, so we don't want that, so you have to go. And that to me, that was okay. Not only is actually affecting my life, because if I can continue to do something like work, which is essential, then it's a big problem. Yeah. So what I did the last couple of weeks, just to be sure, I went around. I mainly talked to David, because he knows me a bit better, because we talked a bit more. But I talked to other people as well, and I told them based on what I've observed in the past. I asked them, do you hear any kind of stories like that?
Hey, Johnny.
Zo is hier voor handschoenen.
Voor handschoenen? Deze? Chef keuken of die, ja.
Yes, so at one point... Oh, sorry.
Zijn er niet? Iets van Lego band of zo.
Ze hebben die Lego-wand zijn dat.
Oh ja.
Ik heb even hier eigenlijk, daar bovenop heb je ze
dat is daar achter eigenlijk. Maar waar zijn ze aan?
Ja, alleen Jan is aan het rijden, dus
Okay.
Ik weet niet, ja kijk maar, want ik heb geen...
Ja, het is zo stoppen, die hele auto omgekeerd.
Ja, dan als je nog eens hier langs komt, dan weet je maar in.
Ja, is goed. Dan kijk ik wel op de hand, wanneer dat moet rijden.
Ja, dat is goed man. Ja, ik heb niks meer gezien, maar ik kan wel eens in die groepsapp vragen.
Ja,
anders misschien leef je Rocco?
Ja, het is wel levenspolitiek. Dat is misschien niet meer. Voor mij dat goed verteld.
You come to roof at work?
Huh?
You come to roof?
He is looking for his handschoenen.
Dit is zo'n camouflaged wanten. De camouflage want.
Oh, the one with the military?
Yeah.
They were, yesterday they were here.
Nou, misschien dan denk ik dat die anderen misschien.
I've seen them in, I think on a bicycle.
On the bicycle?
On the thing in the front.
In the
front?
Kijk maar,
in the place where you put the pizza on the bicycle, they should be inside, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I saw them.
Can you maybe help them now?
Yeah. Anyway, should we close the door?
Yeah.
I try to keep it short, like 5
Maybe
minutes.
wait until he comes back, because I don't know.
Okay.
Because I really want to be all ears and...
Yeah, of course. Okay.
Ik heb een klant aan de telefoon die zei dat hij toen nog tijd had
Heb je
betaald.
Jo!
Ja, toen nog tijd betaald met een brief van 50, maar daar was geen wisselgeld voor. Dus toen zou hij een 30 euro te goedbon krijgen.
Staat in het systeem?
Ik zal zo eens kijken, maar hij zei dat hij met een jongeman had gebeld dat waarschijnlijk een manager was. Dus ik dacht misschien was jij daar iets van.
Altijd als iemand
Is it okay?
Yeah. Sam has his gloves.
Yeah. I knew I saw them there. Anyway.
Okay, where were we?
Yeah. So telling about all these stories. So the main ones was this with the 3 girls, or the general behavior that I want to go out with multiple girls, and sort of disrespect them, not tell them about each other, stuff like this. There was the extreme stuff with prostitution, but that I don't think I even need to say that. I didn't say that because everybody.
I believe you 100%, Paul.
Yes, but this is really important for the future, especially regarding the 2 crimes, because that, above all, the things that can be considered crimes make me the angriest, because they're not only it's not only defamation. If you accuse someone of a crime, I find it more. You understand what I try to mean? Trying to say is even worse than just false stories. Especially stuff like stealing or assaulting people. It's
not good.
But yeah, that's general trends of stories that were made up. I think some girls even said that I wanted to marry them for attention, and it's things that are negative or extreme or generally abnormal that get attention. Are the main trends. This is what people used to post. And what I did, I went around and I told people about these sorts of stories. Not to everybody, but especially the people that I work with the most. And I asked, if you hear stuff like this, or if you see it on the internet, or just if you hear it in the pizzeria, if someone says something like this about me, I really want to know, because it can grow from there. If it's connected to, especially if it's connected with the internet group. I'm not sure if it still goes on because I deleted my social media, but just generally, even if it's not connected, and that someone decides to do stuff like this because they heard about it in the past, I do want to know about it. So I told people this: if you hear stuff like this, I want to know. So please let me know. Is important. Is something that always results into negative consequences, especially for me, and it's. All sorts of things that are not irreparable. Because once they're done and people share it on social media, it's the sort of the damage is done. That's what I try to explain to people. I mainly talk to David because I know him a little bit. But yeah, this is I wanted to talk to you too because I told you about it, but just a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's really important if stuff like this is being said. I don't know if it is, but I do know that the way people used to do this before I saw the actual group was they posted stories. They used all sorts of different elements from the stories. For example, with the smoking thing that said that the guy couldn't breathe. Someone said that the coffee did not smell good, and then they associated that with the other story with the bad smell of smoke. And then every time I would drink coffee, they would say, he's guilty of assaulting and beating up that guy.
What the fuck?
And I said, guys, it doesn't make any sense. And I tried to explain through logic, guys, it doesn't make sense for me to incriminate myself first, regardless if I would be guilty or not guilty. So I wouldn't go around saying, I beat that guy up and I assaulted him, because it doesn't make sense. And then I said, okay, if someone truly believes that I done that, it has to go to court, because the point is not for people to make memes. There's justice to be made, because people accuse me of this stuff. That's why initially I wanted to sue them, because it doesn't matter if they accuse me officially of it or not. They said that stuff. Some people consolidated that as a fact, and that it's damageful to my life. So I tried to explain this. But again, it is really complicated. If you go to police with a text, which someone says, okay, this guy posted on the group that you beat him up, police says, okay, so what is this? They don't care. They want actual proof. They want the things which really showed my face and that went viral, and those things they deleted because they knew they were illegal.
Mm.
So now we only have they're mostly text.
You only have smoke where there was fire. You only have smoke where there was fire.
Yeah, exactly. But then it's mostly the real damageful stuff is gone, but it was still there and it was still caused all the
continuing.
Yes, and there was the thing. I do not know if the group still exists, and but for example, if I know how people reacted in the past. So if I saw something in the pizzeria, I said, guys, I tried to explain it, but it's a bit hard because it's a special situation. And I tried to explain it. Look, some people in the past did that, and then they reacted in a similar manner. So if something like this is going on here, I really want to know. And I mostly explained it to David really well because it's easier to explain in Romanian, and he knows me a little bit.
David is a good guy as well, huh?
Yeah, he was fine with it. He listened to all of it, even though it was a bit just like you now.
Yeah, no problem.
I think it's a bit weird to say this kind of stuff, but you should know, especially since you're my boss. So you should be aware of this stuff.
And it's also good for you to keep talking about it, for yourself to also process it in your head and in your mind.
Yeah, because one of the reasons I told you I want to go to law school is to see exactly how the law works, regardless this kind of stuff. And for example, the people who accuse me of the crimes or made up stories to sort of incriminate me for the crimes, I don't think I can let that go, because it's really, really hurtful to me to have people tell me this kind of stuff. And generally, I'm aware that a lot of people were involved, but the people who really did the damageful stuff, and especially if they made money out of it, like the girls with mathematics, it's really
pissing you off.
Yeah, you know how someone is scratching your brain and you have a feeling that that's the kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I told you is for example, one of the jobs a couple of years ago, I had an argument with someone who made up a story regarding this, and eventually the manager got pissed and he told me, okay, you're doing your job well, but then he said, I think this is not the right job for you, maybe you should leave. And I said, okay, but I know you're actually saying this because I had a conflict with that person and that person, and but yeah, then he called me to his office and he said something random. He said, you're moving too slow. And I said, okay, but this is not true, this is not true, you're only saying this because the thing that just happened, the conflict, it doesn't make sense, it's not, it's immoral to try to kick me out because I'm moving too slow. And then I said, okay, there's a restaurant, so I said, okay, there are cameras, like the cameras here, there are cameras in the restaurant, and I said, okay, you can look at the camera, we can look together, I stay here with you and look on the camera. I knew the other waiter was not moving faster than me, so I knew at least one person worked slower and he didn't get kicked out. I said, okay, we can look together on the images and you can see that this is not true. Okay, but then he said, and you also brought the wrong order. And while it's not, this one was not completely false because sometimes I messed up the orders, but it was the same thing. Other people did it more than me, but no one got kicked out. They were told, it's okay, it's no problem. And I said, okay, but let's look on the cameras. Just today I saw people who messed up far more than me. I only had one table where I brought the wrong food, I think it was, or something like that. And he said, no, but you don't care about other people, you have to care about what you do. And I said, but come on, it doesn't make sense, you're only saying that because of the conflict and you don't want, and he did something because the group was still on at the time, and he did something that really pissed me off. Back in high school, I told you about the two girls that I really liked. It's a bit personal, but it was anyways. It was posted on the viral group, so it's not personal anymore. If you know what I mean. There were two girls that I really liked, and one of them was how do I say this? Was sort of the biggest crush that I had up to that point in my life,
That's possible.
And that girl, this one that I really liked, she said because of the false stories with the three girls, she got upset and she went out with someone else, and so she was gone. and then this was the other girl that I liked. So this one I sort of pushed her away in favor of the other girl. So now I was left in a kind of weird situation. So I did one thing that also went viral on the group, because negative things that generally humiliate me were gonna go there anyway. So I think we were in class or something, and I stayed in a sort of position, with my hands like this, like please, I'm sorry, I didn't want to go out with the other girl, you're not the second choice, I usually never do this kind of stuff, but I think someone took a picture and they posted it in the group, and they said, look at Paul, but they did it in the context of the three girl stories. So again, they said, he probably apologizing for the three girl stories, but that had nothing to do with, and then I did a stupid thing. Very soon afterwards, I didn't want to go out with her because I still like the other girl who already had a boyfriend.
1 second.
Yeah.
Ja, dat doet hij als onder mij. Op de wijn. Waar is Jannie?
He said I'm gonna keep it short. It's been a fucking hell.
Ja, moet een atelier even bij je blijven staan, maar want ik wil ook dat jij het beter gaat leren. Ik wil anders, ze komen op.
Yeah, okay, I think I went into too many details, but
No problem. I have 15 minutes left.
Okay, I'll try to finish in 5.
Yeah, no problem.
So, but the main point was the picture that someone took in the class. It's to me with the hands like this, sort of begging that girl, I'm sorry, I wanted to go out with the other girl, but then I did a stupid thing, and I went back to this girl, and she didn't want to go out with me because of her stories, and then it sort of it sort of didn't work out with either of them, and then on the group there was this big thing with these two girls, and separate from the thing with the three girls. And they said that, look at the girls that Paul used to like, and let's use that to embarrass him and so on. But the thing with the photo, with me staying like this to that girl, I got on the group, and on that day, so now back to this job in the restaurant, on that day when I had a fight with the manager about me supposedly not working, it was the birthday of this girl, so he said, okay, this is how stuff works or used to work on this group. He said the same thing. He said that I stayed like this, with the hands like this, sort of begging, or and he said that I did that in order to not get kicked out. Which
he used that photo?
No, he didn't use that photo, but he said that I did the exact same thing, and because the girl who now it was her birthday, but it was 4 or 5 years later, I think 6 years later. So if you can imagine how much they posted this kind of stuff. There was 2017 and no, not. It happened in 2020. Yeah, what I don't remember the exact date right now. But the point is that he used a similar story, but this was nonsense, was made out of nothing, and the main idea was that I started crying and I was begging, don't kick me out, I'm sorry, something like this, and sort of creating a really emotional kind of character. Mm-hmm. And in reality, I was there explaining him, okay, let's look at it logically, let's watch the cameras, I can prove you that what you're telling me is not true, and he literally switched everything that we talked about and posted that on the group, and
your manager?
Yeah, the actual manager. So the way you are the manager, he was the manager there, and he posted this kind of stuff, and then it was a big fight, but not there, through the internet, And then they said, okay, you have to leave now because now it's impossible to continue. So then a few weeks later, I went and talked to him, and I said, okay, man, what is going on? Did you say this kind of stuff? Why did you do it? And he was like, okay, I don't touch you. Now he said, okay, it's as you say. So but just sort of to make things stop, you know.
So he was basically a pussy in real life.
Yeah, but
and behind the keyboard he is
yeah, but
like that
that's not exactly the point. The point is that the things made it on the group, and people cyberbullied me again, and then they said, Paul is crying, Paul is sort of humiliating stuff. And I said, guys, this is not true. I never did this thing. And this thing with like staying with the hands like this as you would be begging or apologizing, the last time I ever did that, and I think the only time that I did it was to that girl in high school. But it was so many years ago. It was 2017. Actually, it was the end of the year 2016. So yeah, there was so many years ago, but because someone took a photo and people kept posting it about it, they said, it's believable to say that you do it again.
7 years ago, so you were like, what, 16?
Yeah, but that's not the point. So for example, for me, I like that girl as well, not as much as the other one, but I really cared about her. So to me, it was an emotional moment. You know, I really felt sorry because I wanted to go out with the other girl, and now she was angry at me, you know. People took that and they cyberbullied me with it, and then they made up similar stories to say that I would be crying or apologizing or so on, and then they said that I would do that sort of to apologize for their false stories, like the one with the 3 girls, and that to me again it was like, you know, again scratching my brain. It really irritated.
Your hair out. No.
Yeah, it's. I try to explain, guys, I don't do this kind of stuff. And with the thing with the begging, I said, guys, I never did that except that one time to that girl.
Yeah.
And that's it's not only that I did that back then, but it was with a good reason. Because I liked her a lot, and she was angry, and rightfully so, because I wanted to go out with another girl. And
that was true.
That was
the only thing that was.
Yeah, that was true. I wanted to go out with another girl, and now I was.
But she didn't want to go out with you anymore, so you went out with the other one.
Yeah, it's but it's it's a kind of a normal high school situation. But then what they made up with the 3 girls that I wanted to go out with all of them at the same time, and it didn't match my character. Mm-hmm. So I said, guys, I don't do this kind of stuff. So stop saying it. I do this thing. And people didn't care because before I deleted my social media, this was one of the main topics. They said, I think they chose one random girl, also from high school, that I think was the one with the mathematics, because she also made up a similar story. Mm-hmm. And people said just randomly they posted text on Facebook and said, Paul said that he misses her and he's crying because of her. And there was out of nowhere, you know, out of thin air, they made up stuff. And then when I saw it, I was like, guys, I just said that she lied about everything and she's a criminal and
it doesn't matter what you say, Paul.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Exactly. They
just thrive on it and they put your energy and post another story, and then they post another story, and then coffee, and then smoke, and then
it's not just the story, because that's why I didn't want to see this kind of stuff, because I said maybe okay, if I don't react, maybe they don't post it. Mm-hmm. But the way it worked was that people really wanted to post it because they got attention for it. Mm-hmm. So because no one did this in the past to me because there was no reason, but now the reasoning is them getting some sort of attention, which could translate into money and other stuff. Mm-hmm. Like this girl with the mathematics, and I don't really know what exactly happened afterwards, but what I do know is the main trend of this kind of stories. I know they did not let go of the main stories, and they kept repeating it, and they kept making stories related to it, saying that I would incriminate myself or stuff like this.
Okay.
And some other trends were, as I told you, sexist comments about girls, or maybe even racist comments about different people from different races, or stuff like this. Mm-hmm. Stuff that's really controversial and gets attention. Yeah. And sorry. No problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So stuff that really gets attention, and also stuff that's not necessarily negative, but it's still disrespecting and could cause problems, such as random girls saying that I like them or wanted to go out with them. It's not necessarily negative, but since
it's not true.
Since it's not true, it causes me problems, because if now I decide, okay, I want to go out with that girl, and I ask her out, and half an hour later some other girl says, oh, he asked me out as well, then it's a big conflict, you know, because what are you trying to do? You want to go out with everybody? If you understand the...
Yeah.
So yeah, that's these are the main topics that that were posted. There are probably more, but most of them are linked to this kind of stuff. And again, I went through the pizzeria and asked guys, if someone does something like this, I want to know, because it's not okay. And mostly I talked to David. I know, for example, David has his Romanian music, and there is a song, and this is just something I noticed. He said it was random, so I believe him, but he has a song where half of the song goes like, sorry. So I thought about the other type of stories. So I said, David, is there something going on here? You know, because I know this happened in the past, and he said, don't worry, man, it's nothing.
No, he won't do that.
Yeah.
He has a good heart. He wouldn't.
Yeah, I just asked, you know, because I want to know, but I also wanted to ask you as well if stuff like this was, like any of this kind of stuff was ever said here, or...
Never, man. Never.
It doesn't matter
I
if...
only heard that you were indeed talking to everybody about those topics, and if they heard anything that...
that's what I did in the last 2 weeks, just to make sure.
For me, there's no problem, and there will not be a problem. And if I notice something, I won't allow it, and I will terminate it immediately. So,
it's not. The thing is, it has to not get on the group and on the internet group and be rewarded, because from there things escalate, and it's you cannot repair that. It's once it happens, it remains there as some sort of I'm not sure.
Everything you post on the internet will be there.
Yeah, and it already causes the damage, and then there's no way to fix the problem. So yeah, that's why I asked David about these stories with the sort of saying sorry unnecessarily, or if anyone noticed stuff like this. And I told him about the story as well. I said, man, I literally never back to people like this with the hands like this, as you know, asking them like please or
exactly.
or sorry or stuff like that. And I said, did you see this on the group or stuff like this? And you know, if people see stuff like this, you know, it's not normal, especially, you know, if a man does not do this without a very good reason.
That you do so many things.
Yeah, exactly. And
it would be true. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I tried to explain it. Like that girl I really liked, so there was a special situation, but I don't do this kind of stuff. And the thing with the crying, I think, for some reason it was a thing. Like I told you, with a girl with mathematics. They said that I'll be crying because of her. I said, guys, I don't do this, and if I ever cry for someone, it's not gonna be in public. It's gonna be in my room, you know, where no one sees me anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So I said, stop making this kind of stuff, and it doesn't matter. People still do it.
It's a cruel world.
Yeah, and this is really important. If stuff like this, I don't want it to happen, and I do not want the consequences of these sort of things, because they're not repairable. So once someone posts it, if it goes viral, you cannot undo that. It's sort of it's disrespecting, but it's also defaming. So once it's done, it's you know, the damage is done. And furthermore, some people also get famous if the story is controversial enough.
They can create a monster if they want.
Yeah.
If you weren't mentally so stable, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And if they get me into a state where I'm angry, and then I start shouting to someone, they said, he wants to kill people because look at him, how. But it's a normal.
You do what they made up. No, not everything, but
no, not even.
Not even.
No, basically it was one dude. This happened in Eindhoven. I don't know exactly what happened, but.
Dennis?
At Dennis? Yeah, Dennis. Yeah. There was one thing, I went to deliver, and there was something there, don't call, don't ring the bell, because someone was sleeping or something, and I didn't read it. And I rang the bell, and then we had our verbal fight, and when I got to the pizzeria, I found out that he said that I wanted to kill him. And I was like, seriously? So I called the number back and I talked. And I said, okay, when did I say that I would kill you? If I really said that, you can go to the police. And I talked to him, I talked sense into him, and eventually he was like, yeah, whatever, and he closed. But just the thing like this, and this is, I don't know if that's had to do with the group or not, but people tend to do something like this. They see me shouting and they say, he wants to kill people.
That wasn't part of the group, that those are just people who want to make things bigger than they are, just to get their right.
Yeah, maybe that was not related, I don't know that, because no one told me, but I do know that he made that up.
Yeah.
So I thought that was very odd, because I never had a fight with someone, and then out of nowhere said, you wanted to kill me.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I didn't even touch you, I was the one.
If you wanted to kill him, then he would be already dead.
No.
If you wanted to kill him. But
no,
we have our morals, we have our safety, that we don't do such
There's some limits that I know I don't cross. Like, I was the one going away, and he was the one coming after me in the street, so he was the one who was actually, and then he said that I wanted to kill him. So I don't know. And but Maurice, the main point is these things, they really mark me, because I know I did not do this sort of stuff. And it's not just one thing. Yes, the crimes are the most important because they are the most damaging to my identity. But everything that was said, regardless if it's related to the crimes or not, to some extent they destroy who I am, because they not actually change who I am, but in people's eyes, you see it, and a lot of people, many of them have no idea who I am. They only see that, and they say, that is what is true about Paul. And I know I'm not like that, and that's. To be honest, that's one of the main reasons, actually the main reason why I want to go to law school, so to find a way to stop this. And it's also the reason that I asked you for your friend who was a lawyer. Yeah. And if that is still an option, somehow if you do know people, because I imagine you know a lot of people because you're a businessman, and it's really important. For me, in my eyes, what I do know is that don't exactly know how to say that, but I keep track of this kind of stuff. People who want to help me, that I take that into consideration. It's not like because I want to see who wants to help, and who maybe someone is doing something bad and someone wants to help. I have to see this kind of stuff. But with you, I know I interact with you often. You're also my boss, so you see me quite a lot. So if you do know anyone who can help, I appreciate that. Will be taken into consideration. Maurice helped me at that time is a good thing. Yeah. And I don't know. I have
need to help each other.
I have a long list of people who did really bad things to me, and I don't plan to let them go away. Especially the ones who made money off making up stories about me. That's because it's not just making up the stories, is the behavior that follows. For example, you remember the girl I told you from Christmas? Yeah, she did make stuff up because she thought I made some bad comments about her. She was angry, but what she did afterwards, like all the cyberbullying and stuff, that was for nothing, because it was just because she would get rewarded with money. So that's the kind of behavior that I really don't. I don't want to tolerate that, if you understand. And it's the thing is that I take that into consideration. Okay, people made stuff up, and maybe they got money, they don't got money. I know. What did they do after? Did they continue to support their stories, or do they? That's really important as well, because you see the mentality of people, and do they want to go on with their stuff, make more money? Do they grow their social media on it? Did they ever apologize for making stuff up and stuff like that? And I really try to see, sort of not didn't make a list or anything, but just for me, I really want pay attention to people to see who's on my side, who's stabbing me in the back, stuff like that. Yeah. Like for now, I plan to work here. Like I said, you opening the other shop. So I plan to work here at least until late summer, when I go to study. Okay. I'm most likely going to study in Maastricht, so that's gonna be close. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's possible to still work here afterwards, depending on the schedule. I know. Okay, this is another thing, but I know that I'll have a lot of hours of study at home.
Mm-hmm.
So this means I don't have to go to university every day.
Oh, that's nice.
But depending on the schedule, I might be able to work afterward as well. If not, then I have to go to Maastricht. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to keep in mind, this is one.
I hope you can still work for me, man. Because you're doing a great job. We had our differences sometimes, but the main thing is that you are a good employee, man.
Yeah, I do.
And I want to be a good employer. So
yeah, and that's of course you don't owe me anything. I know that, but if you do know people who actually are able to help, it would be extremely helpful.
Yeah.
And of course, it's taken into consideration because I look at this kind of stuff. If someone helped me, I know that person helped me. I keep track of that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's good to know who's on your side.
My friends grew of shrinked from maybe 50 people from high school. You know that guy.
Yeah, you know everybody.
You know everybody. And if you go on in life, now I have maybe 10 close people that I adore, and the rest can suck it. Because I know they won't help me, and I know what you mean, man.
Yeah.
You have the list in your
Yeah, not the least, but just as a general thing.
Yeah.
If you do know such a lawyer or someone with expertise in the subject, like you said, your friend really matched that description. As you said, she was doing something regarding criminal law.
Yeah, she's a criminal lawyer. Yeah.
Yeah, that would help me a lot because it's extremely important to know how these two crimes work. They're different, but I know they're part of the criminal code. The theft is 100%. The assault is. I think the beating up is also a crime. Yeah,
it's a crime. Right, I'll just check.
Yeah.
Dus die van mij niet eruit opkomen?
Yeah. Okay.
Regarding the camera.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the box.
Okay.
I'll put it in the safe.
Okay.
Because we won't be using it today. I want to test it together with you.
Yeah.
And you're tomorrow. You are here, and then we'll pack it out together, and then we'll see.
Come a bit earlier for that, or?
Yeah, you can be a little bit earlier. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will tell you if I notice anything about that story. Even if I see it online, I will screenshot it and send it to you.
Maurice, for now, is not about the online because I don't even look there, but it's about the pizzeria.
Oh, then you
so
don't have to worry.
If someone who works here or the clients or say something like this, I want to know.
Yeah.
And then, especially if it's a colleague, and if they do stuff like this, it's not about what they post on the internet. It's about them stopping this thing. So stopping making stuff up.
Yeah, I understand.
Because if they don't make anything up in the first place, they don't have what to post on the internet. That's the
Yeah. No, I can assure you that, man.
Okay.
You have my word.
All right. And with the lawyers, if you somehow still get in contact with that girl and she is willing to help or willing to hear me out, it's extremely helpful to me. Because I do not know anyone in the subject, and the people that I meet, they're strangers, and they see, you have a special case, it's complicated, it costs a lot of money, we could help you, but maybe we cannot, and we have to see, and it's really, Of course, I'm willing to pay money, so this girl that you say, of course, I'm not saying to do that for free, I can pay for it, but to me it's very important to have someone who can actually help me. If she comes as a recommendation from you, I know, I can trust her, so she can tell me actual, useful information. So of course I can pay for that. It's because many people, I went to some lawyers and they said like, I'm not sure, I have to research it, and they didn't actually give me anything. So to me, that is extremely important. If you can contact her or just send a message or something, it's really important.
Okay. I will contact her this week. Or maybe after Christmas.
Yeah, there's no hurry.
So it's I'm not going to put my word in that it will be 2023 that it will happen, but 2024 she has more time. I have more time, and we'll
you can tell her that it's a long-term thing, so it's not something I need right now.
Yeah.
But it's something for the long term. I'm also going to study law, so it's something that I really need.
Okay.
Okay, so. hopefully it'll help.
For 1 second.
Ah, no one's gonna steal it. It was really cheap. So.
Yeah, and I have a camera.
And you have a
so
camera.
if someone goes in the drawer, I know who it is.
Okay. So do you need me for today? Or,
Let's check.